I had this dream that I was a serial killer. I'm going to be looking at some of the symbols that I've seen and kind of tell you how I decode them. And I was hoping some people could maybe comment on them, because some of them, it's like I'm still trying to figure out what they mean. I don't know if anyone is familiar with Dr. Hoffman. He talks about reality. He compares reality to like icons on a computer screen. So like all the physical things that we see are like the little icons on your laptop. And behind those icons, they have like a code that tells them to be that icon. Now that code behind the icon on the computer screen, that would be like the subconscious. So it's as if the subconscious creates the entire reality or the world around you from information. But if you guys have any questions, ask them, because I'm really tired. And it'll help me stay awake and stay engaged, because I'm trying to be awake, but I'm just tired. But basically, so what I do then is I'm looking around at reality, and it's like I'm looking at a bunch of symbols, and what I want to do is decode what is behind them, what is behind that symbol, because that is like a key to the subconscious, like understanding the subconscious, what's in there, because it's hidden from us. And I got some really interesting ones that I've seen like had come up the last couple of days, or like the last few days. Not only do they apply to me, but it's like a ripple. Like if you throw a rock in a pond or whatever, it'll be applied to my life. And then the people that I interact with, it'll apply to their life. And then the world around, like, it's kind of like it applies on different levels in us, like a spiral in the world around me. And so not only does it apply to me personally, like it'll apply to others as well, and the world. It's an energy that it's like running behind the scenes, affecting everything that I would consider real. What I'm looking at here is the symbols that I see. But I had a really, really crazy dream to start out with. Actually, the dream was not the first thing that happened, but I'm going to start out with the dream. I interpret my dreams or analyze them. I actually took dream interpretation when I was getting my master's degree in college. And one thing that I learned while doing that is that everything that you see in the dream, or like the people that are in your dreams, when you're analyzing them, you look at each individual in your dream as an aspect of yourself. And so it was 2 nights ago, I woke up because I had this dream that I was a serial killer. I don't know, has anyone ever had a dream that they were a serial killer? That's the second time I can remember in my life where I've dreamt I was a serial killer. I'll tell you about the first dream, and then I'll tell you about this dream I had the other night. So the first time I had a dream that I was a serial killer was like a few years ago. And I dreamt that I was killing these people and then dragging their bodies into a basement. Now the basement in dreams is the subconscious. Any kind of structure, like a house, building, attic, they're different parts of the subconscious. So I was dragging these bodies into the basement, and the basement was pure white, like the walls, the floors. And so the blood from their bodies was like smearing on this white. Okay, that was the first time I dreamt this. I dreamt about being a serial killer. Well, 2 nights ago, I dreamt it again, and but it was different this time. So I remember I was a guy. I dream that I'm a guy a lot, and I was able to, like, I had the mind of the serial killer, but then I was also watching from an outside perspective. I could see myself as this guy. And I remember being annoyed. I was annoyed at myself because I was hungry. The hunger was because I wasn't only a serial killer, I was a cannibal. I know this is really crazy, but this is why I'm sharing this, because any kind of perspective too you have on this might help me decode all of this, because it connects to reality too. I'm just telling you the dream part. like, I got annoyed that I had this hunger, and I was like, shit, now I gotta eat. And I had to eat people. And what I would do is I would look for people who are already going to die, because I didn't want to kill a healthy person. And so I was like sneaking around, like watching for people who are about to die. And something that just came into my head is, you know, the symbol of death, the guy that walks around with the scythe. That just popped into my head, because like, if you think about it, he walks around like watching, like the myth is that he like walks around watching for people who are about to die, basically to take them, you know? And so I was doing that, like kind of like hiding in the bushes. That's almost what it felt like, because I saw this woman. She was driving her car and she swerved off the road and crashed the car. And there was bushes covering up like her car. You couldn't see where her car was from the side of the road. And so I hurried up and I got in her car, and she had a head injury and was bleeding. So she was going to die. And so I was going to eat her. And now I woke up and I used AI to interpret some of the stuff. Like, what the fuck does it mean? Why did I have this serial killer dream? But first, I want to tell you another thing that happened. Because when I woke up, or about 4 hours later, my mom and my stepdad got up, and my mom had told my stepdad that she had a dream that I died the same night. And so, yeah, okay. So now it's going to start getting really weird. Okay, so there's those two things that happened the same night. Okay, the day before I had the dream. When I see things that are on like Facebook and stuff, if I get into this heightened state of awareness, like where I'm looking to see what it's showing me about my own life, because like I said, it's like this awareness that causes you to be able to see beneath or like decode reality, to see what the code is behind reality. And so I'll get into this hyper aware state, and I see things like whatever ads, whatever dumb shit pops up, right? It is showing me symbols. So one of the things that popped up in my Facebook feed was a story about a knife thrower. And it was this guy that would chuck knives at this woman on those big wheels, you know what I mean? And it's a true story. The couple was famous in a Mexican circus. And he used to basically be really freaking good at it. Like, he never hit her, obviously, or anything like that. Well, he thought that he should be paid more. He told the circus basically to pay him more and take away from the woman's pay that was getting the knives thrown at her. And she found out about it, and so she just quit and she left. And basically, he had to replace her and put someone else there. And the woman that he put there, on the first throw, he got her in the heart. Basically, he killed her. And so then his reputation was ruined. And he was known as like a killer, basically. And so, sorry, my entire body has got chills right now. Oh, man. Okay. So intuitively, like what basically just popped into my head is that my reputation, there's something about my reputation. Okay, I don't know what this means, but my reputation, this is what it's saying. My reputation is going to basically be known as a killer, but not literally. And the reason why I'm not just saying that just because of what I just told you about that story. It's because, like I said, I see all of these little weird things that pop up. There's this video, there's been several like symbols and little stories and ads and stuff like that have popped up about people seeing this monster side of me, which I'm like, what? but So there's something about reputation, monstrous side, and this doesn't just apply to me. Like I said, because it's like a ripple. It's like some kind of ripple in reality. And but anyway, this woman that was getting the knives thrown out at her, she went on to like be some kind of protection symbol for like the Mexican army or something like that. So she was like a talisman. The talisman of protection basically is being removed. Holy shit. Okay, so I don't know. You probably can't see my freaking skin, sorry. But like my hairs are standing up everywhere. The talisman of protection is being removed. Oh my god. Okay, so like this is all coming together. Wow. Okay. I better tell you the rest of these symbols, because there was like something was protecting. The story that I'm getting is that there's something that was protecting, because a talisman protects. And when it's removed, it's like there's going to be something that aims and kills, like gets the target, right? But the reputation is ruined. But like I said, these are all symbolic, so I'm not necessarily saying it's literal. However, this could be literal, because if there's war or something that's going on, it could literally be like a war, because there could be some kind of protection that's removed. And oh damn. Okay. What just popped into my head too was like the US's reputation being completely fucking ruined. Interesting. And known. Wow. But let me get to these other symbols, because there's 3 other birds that popped up. But first, I got to tell you this. Wow. Okay. So I posted that story about the knife thrower. Then I had the dream I was a serial killer that night. My mom also dreamt that I died. Then the next day, a friend of mine who did not see my post about the knife thrower, just he messaged me and he goes, I had a dream about you. I don't know what night he had the dream about me, but he said, I had a dream about you. You were a knife thrower. I was like, what the fuck? No way. And I sent him my story that I had posted. I said, I just posted a story about a knife thrower yesterday. And I said, he said that I was wearing like a corset, but I was the one throwing the knives. Whew, okay, I got the chills. I also read tarot. Like I do a lot of the psychic stuff too, you know, just so you guys know, you're aware. I have another channel where I do that. I have a lot of stuff coming through, almost like my intuition is like kind of on fire right now. Okay. Whew, okay. So let me get into this. I've got 3 more symbols I want to give you. So there's those like synchronicities, like they're going crazy, right? Okay. Over the last few days, I have like random things that pop up, like I said, sometimes on Facebook. So these 3 birds that I've never heard of before pop up on Facebook. Okay. Jabiru. Okay. It said it looks like a statue. So this is something that almost looks like it's not moving. It's not doing anything, but it has secrets to tell. You might identify with one of these 3 or all of these 3. Just listen to the descriptions. And it could be someone you know. It could also be something you know. Like I said, it's an energy. It looks like a statue, but it has secrets to tell. Alive. It's alive. So you may question whether it is alive. And it's huge. It's built for dominance in the wetlands and can withstand extreme heat. And it has a hunter's focus. Okay, so this is what I'm getting from this. This is like, if this were a person, this is someone who like could have people having meltdowns all around them, like someone, like people crying, right? Or like even have a lot of tears themselves, but they're so strong, they can handle the pressure. People could be attacking them or attacking their opinion, and they can handle that pressure and stay focused, like on the thing, the goal, the purpose, the whatever it is that they're doing. the flooding too, I put that in parentheses because like 3 days ago, all of a sudden, all these flood posts were coming across my Facebook too about flooding in China. And I was like, oh, there's flooding or crying. There's a lot of, like, someone's upset. There's tons of freaking emotions. And I don't know if this is like in a large group or this is like literal flooding somewhere, but there's like flooding, right? So this one has secrets. It's like watching, hunting. It's focused, right? Okay. Now the second one is the shoebill stork, and it looks like it's about to say something, but it doesn't. Okay. This one is quiet. It's a silent judge of the swamp. So it's kind of like there's all this flooding and then everything's like murky, right? And this shoebill stork is just sitting there judging it, like looking over it, okay? It doesn't waste energy like speaking. It just stares and it waits. Or it doesn't chase or like run around and try and... It's not frantic. It's actually like stoic. So like if this is a person, this is someone who's really stoic. At the right moment, it unleashes a death clap. A death clap that echoes and ends the hunt in a single strike with a stone cold face. Like, there's something upsetting, but then it's almost like there's a silence or like a pause in the, after something has been like, someone's been crying or there's been a flood, right? But then there is something that like strikes. There's a hit. I don't know if this is like I hope it's not something like big and worldly, but it is. It's like a hit, and because it echoes. I mean, like whatever this is, it's big. It echoes. It's like boom, and it might be something to do. I don't know if you guys ever look at astrology, but I know Uranus is in Taurus at 29 degrees, which is a critical degree right now, and there could be something about that, like aligning basically with some kind of hit. Okay. But it ends the hunt. It's like clamps down, right? Sorry. The last one is like the cleanup crew, because this one is the Maruba, I don't even know how to say it. Maruba stork. It's like a grumpy old man, kind of. It's the grumpy older undertaker is how they described it. It's very misunderstood. It cleans up the dead. It thrives on the dead. And it's bald. So this could be someone who's literally got a bald head, okay? It has stomach acid so strong it can dissolve anthrax and stops a disease before it starts. It could be someone stopping something that could spread disease. Say there was somebody that was diseased, infected, right? This would be like someone getting in the way or like stopping this person from infecting another person. You see what I'm saying? This is like something that's like coming down and it stops it. It also, stomach acid. Okay, this is also being able to digest poisons. Okay. The other thing is this is like being able to look at some really horrible shit, okay? You can look at horrible shit in the world. There's a lot of horrible shit that goes on in the world. If you want to have solutions to those horrible things that go on in the world, you have to be able to understand them. And most people are not willing to go in and understand them. Like if you want to stop any kind of like fucking, just all kinds of the horrible stuff. Like horrible people do horrible things. If you want to put like a stop to it, you actually need to understand why the fuck it's happening. Why it's going on, what's going on in these people's heads to be able to stop it. And so this last symbol basically is it's like a person or a being or like an energy of being able to digest horrible shit. Okay? It's like process it within your mind. You know how sometimes you can see something horrible on TV or hear something horrible and then you don't want to think about it and you try and get it out of your head? Well, this would be someone who doesn't do that, who like actually will try and understand what the fuck was going on in this person's mind so that they can understand how to like resolve the problem in the world. When I was the serial killer in the dream, I was basically like going and looking for these dying people, right? And then eating them. Like, which is, I know, really weird. But anyway, it was like I was eating them. But I was talking to AI about that because it was like, oh, how horrible, you know, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, well, I didn't feel horrible. Like, I actually was just annoyed that I was hungry and I had to go do it. And I was like, why would I think it's horrible if I'm the one doing it in my dream? Like, I was thinking like a serial killer that was eating people about to die. You know how in your body, when there are cells that die, or there's like cancerous cells, your body can eat them up. Like if you do intermittent fasting, or like fast for periods of time, your body will actually eat the dead cells and it like rejuvenates, like repairs your body. So like on a personal independent level, like that's what I would think of as far as like eating the dead. Okay. But there's more to it because I was annoyed with it. I was annoyed at having to stop to do that. It's almost like there's a pause to eat the dead. And then there is this hunt that happens afterwards. But instead of hunting the dead, you're hunting the alive. Because you know how like if you were to like think of how boring hunting would be if like say you were hunting a deer or whatever. I've never been hunting, but say you were hunting a deer and there was a deer that would just like sit in your yard and like lay there while you hunted. Like how fun would that be? That would be boring as fuck, right? You wouldn't feel any spark. You wouldn't feel like going out and doing it. You'd be like, I gotta go out in the backyard. I don't want to do that. I don't want to shoot the deer. Right? But the thing that makes hunting fun for people is that there's pushback, like there's difficulty in it. There's like, it's a sport, like there's the competition, like it's fun, right? And that might be something happening with everyone, almost like you feel kind of dead inside because you're bored. People might, I know I watched this documentary once where it talked about how like war and stuff brings people together. I'm feeling like that kind of energy where people needing something to push back on them almost so that they can wake up. It's almost like everyone's too comfortable and they're getting fat and lazy and tired and they need to like have something to wake up for. And I don't know if it's like, but I feel like there's something like that big clap, that death clap might be like the catalyst for that. And I'm not sure what that death clap is. I'm just explaining the signs or the symbols, the information that I've seen so far. But it's interesting because, you know, sometimes I can feel things right before they happen, but actually the energy that I've been feeling like all day has been like really good. Like almost like I'm excited in a sense. I'm getting almost like the monsters in people coming out. So like I'm afraid to show this like wild raging part of myself, but then people finding like beauty in that. That's really what I'm getting.